Hi, my name is Obeni and welcome back. Today we are going to learn PHP. As I promised you that after completing a JavaScript lesson, we are going to dive into PHP, and now it's the right time. Oh, PHP is a very awesome language actually. And PHP, it's a server-side scripting language. You may have already created your website. It's a client side. If you already use a JavaScript, HTML and CSS, you have a modern looking website, but your website doesn't talk with backend side. You have not integrated it with backend services. You may be asking, if you ever ask your question that how does we send files to the server, the remote server? One of the language which usually used there is PHP. So you can have buttons in your client side, selecting files from your computer and sending them to the server. So the process of sending that file from the client side to the server is usually handled by server-side programming language such as PHP. Actually, there are so many backend programming languages like Node.js. Nowadays we have that, and we also have Java. There are such kind of programming languages out there, but today we are going to focus on PHP. So we're gonna start by explaining where do we actually write Java, where do we write actually PHP. PHP has, as I have already tell you, that PHP is a server-side programming language, so you need to have a local server like XAMPP. So in my case, I have already installed that XAMPP and I'm using Linux. So to obtain that, if you've already installed it, you just go to computer. This is Kali Linux, and then OTP, and then here site lamp, and here I have htdocs. This is where we are going to create our PHP files here, so that it can actually run on the web server site. So right here I'm going to open this folder, or let's just create a folder and say this one. I just say learn PHP like that, and then open this folder, and then open in terminal, and then just code period like that. This is going to open our Visual Studio Code free editor. Now we have a Visual Studio Code and we have our folder here. Now what next is to have a browser already running. So to test this one, if our local server is running well, just try to write localhost like this. Yes, it's working fine, and I have already have some project within this one, it's working fine. So I'm gonna navigate to my folder called, remember it, we call it learn PHP like that. Here we are. This is our folder. Let me try now to create a just simple file within this one. Let's call it index.php. Remember, we are learning PHP, so any file in PHP has to end with .php. This one, and let's try to put very basic syntax of PHP. I'm going to explain to you later on. For now, I just want to test to make sure everything is working fine. Let's try. Oh, well done. Okay, I'm gonna try to refresh now. Yep, we have it. So it's working fine. Now from there, we're gonna start to explore PHP by explaining the basic syntax of PHP. So to start, we have to know the basic syntax of PHP actually. So basic syntax of PHP is like this one. You have to write this, and then like this, here you need to write your PHP like this way, and then here you can write a valid PHP code, whatever you want right here. So in PHP we have this function called echo. Actually it is a function. You can put something like this and put any word you want, any string you want to put it here to display it to the browser. So just say hello like that, and let's try to refresh. Yeah, we have it. So to make things much easier, I'm gonna divide this one to be this way, so that after just refreshing, saving here, and then we just easily refresh the browser. So what actually is this function? You know, echo is just printing something to a client, you know, giving him a response after making a request. That's how we reply to server, to the client side. You can write also like this one, echo. So you can say also hello. Well, it's also valid one. You can see the same thing. So that's how to display a message. Pretty simple and straightforward. And PHP, as a programming language, we have also variables. PHP actually is an object-oriented programming language, by the way, and it has all properties, you know, that other programming language have. So to create a variable in PHP, we start by this symbol, $, and then we actually put the name of variable, let's say name, and then you can assign value to that variable. For now, I want to just print my name, Benny, and then to see this message we use echo like that, and then name, variable name. So let's just refresh. Yeah, right there you see it. So this is how to create a variable in PHP. PHP, it's like a JavaScript. Once you assign value to that variable, it's going to explicitly determine what kind of variable is. For example, here we have this variable name and we assign a string, so automatically it's going to know that this variable type is a string type. And then here, if I just want to create an integer variable, I just write, let's say age, and then assign an integer value like this. Then automatically it's going to know this is an integer. It's not like in C++ where you write int to explicitly type that this one is an integer. It's not like that. Now let's proceed. So if you want to create an integer, you put something like that, and to create a string, do something like this one. And also, moreover, you can say also this one, name, using a single quote like that. Not, you can also use double, but also single one is valid. It depends on how you use it. Name, just put something like that, and then let's just say echo name. See that? Yeah. After that, in PHP we have something known as concatenation. We can also concatenate these two variables. So let's say I'm gonna create real quick here and say last name. That's my first name. I'm gonna say mname is Zakaria, and then let's say lname is Tanko. Very straightforward. So I just want to combine these two variables together. It's very straightforward. We just write echo and then name. We don't use plus as other programming language. We use dot symbol for concatenation. Then we want to put some space between, so put something like that, and then concatenate again with mname, and then dot again to to put some space between like that, and then L name. Oh, sorry, like that. So after refreshing something like this, you're going to see Ombeni Zakaria Tango. So let's proceed. After there, we are going to learn how to create now such kinds of if statement in PHP. So to create an if statement in PHP, it's just like other programming language. So you just write if, and then here you write your condition. For example, I want to say, let's create a variable first and say we try for a boolean variable, which I say is true. And then we also say true, and then we say if is true, we just say echo true. Let's try to refresh. Yeah, true. Else, so else is if this condition is not true, then execute this one. So echo not true. So right now, if I refresh this, you will not see this one. Why? Because the condition is true, so it's going to execute this block of code. So to see this one, you have to make this one false, like that. So if I refresh, you say that because the condition is now false, then it not going to execute this line, and then it shift to the next one, like this one. It's not true. This is how to make a conditional statement in PHP, and then how to make a while loops. Such kind of while, for loop, while loops in PHP. By starting, we want to start by for loop. So we create a variable where we start. Let's say I, and say equals to 0. Starting from 0, then let's say I let's say up to 10, and then I plus plus, like that, and then let's say echo I. So after refreshing this, sorry, here I just forget this one. So let's try to refresh again. Yeah, you see that. So it start to iterate from 0, it print the 0, and then increase this I by 1, and it going to be 1, then print it again, and then increase it by 1, print it again, increase it by 1 and print it again, increase by 1, print it again, and then you see up to 10. We're not including 10 here. If you want to include 10, we have to put symbol equals to, so it's going to add 10 here, like this one. So this is how to create for loop in PHP. Very straightforward. And then, for example, when I create a while loop, here is where we put our condition. Let's say while I, let's say create a variable first, I equals to 10. Then we say while I is less than 10, we need to make something. So it's going to check first, I is equal to 10, is it? Okay, then it's going to check this one, is I equals to 10? Let's try equals, is less or equal to 10? Yes, I is equal to 10, so it's going to execute this condition. Here I just want to decrease I, so that is going to like this one. So the first time is going to loop to check this one, and then it see I is equal to 10, then it decrease this I, then it will be equals to 9, and then you want to check it again, Is 9 less than 10? Yes, of course, less than 10 is going to decrease. So to see it, we're going to say echo I, like this. So what we're expecting is that we're going to see 10, 9, 8, 7 up to 0. See that? It's an endless. It's going to loop forever, because every time it's going to decrease this and print it again, decrease and print again, and always this one will be less than 10. So like that. That's why you see it's going to loop forever. It's an infinity loop we have created. So to break this one, we say if I want to use now if within the while loop. So we say if I is equals to 0, that means the I is now decreased up to 0, then we break like this one and then print I. So I think let's refresh again. See that? So we start from 9, 8, 7 up to 1. I think you get my point. This is how to create a while loop and how to control while loops. And moreover, PHP also have something known as for each loop. For each loop, its syntax is like this one. Oh, sorry. For each, yep, the syntax is like this one. What this one does, it's pretty straightforward. Also, it does not uses like if one. No, I'm going to explain to you by using examples so that you can see it. How does it work? You can see here we have this variable. We name it as variable and as key, where the values are this one. So for example, let's try to put something like, let's say we have let's take this, let's take this one and put it right here and assign it to something like array. I'm going to explain to you, this is an array, so let's say 1, 2, 3 and 5. I'm going to explain to you what array is, but now we are just testing it. And then we say for each array, as this one, we want to get the values of this. So I want to say echo key. And let's see, we see that it's 0, 1, 2, 3. What does this mean? Let's explain to you very straight one. Let's now try to echo again. Instead of key, let's put values like that, and then refresh. What you see is 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is key now? Key is an index. If we say key, you see it's an index. It starts from 0, 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2 and 3. You're going to understand it later on once we get into arrays, but now just know key is an index and values is the value itself. For example, if I want to access the value at a certain key, I just use echo as here, echo variable at position 0. You're going to see what is it. You get 1. So if I just say at position 1, you're going to see 2 now. At position 3, we're going to see 5. Yeah, it's 5. This is position 2 actually. So you're going to see 4. This is what key are. So this is how to create a for each loop. And let's say we have now, let's go dive into array first, so that you can understand very easily what this for each loop is. For now, I'm going to comment this one and then just create an array here and just say array is equal to array. We have this function called array, and here you can create an array by using keys and values like this. When you say name and then put something like that and say Ombeni and then comma, I'm gonna say age, put something like this. You can mix them. I say 40. I'm not actually 40, I'm just 23 years old. Not also 23, just 20. Then let's proceed. I'm gonna say country goes to Tanzania. So that's enough for testing. For example, if I want to get name, I just say echo like that one, and then use this key name. So if we try to refresh, you see we have Ombeni. So we can get this value Ombeni by using this key. Then let's try to put age here. What actually we're going to see is 20. If you want to get country, you just put this here, country. Yeah, this is how to create an array in PHP, and this array type of array is called the associative array. So after that, now let's use for each loop to iterate over this array. For example, I just want to print all name, age and country for this array. So I'm going to use my variable now as this one r. So I'm going to replace this by this, and then as key and value. So this key we're going to we're going to locate this one, and then values for this one. So for example, let's just say echo key. What we're going to see, you see that we have name, age and country. It's going to check for the keys name, age and country. And let's say we need values now, so we just say echo values like that. So we're going to see Ombeni, 20 and Tanzania like that. Good. So we are at a good position. This is how to create a for each loop. Now this type of array I've already told you, it's associative array. In PHP we have also another types of array. Let's go just normal array. For example, I'm gonna comment all this one. For example, let's create an array by just saying arrays of names. Let's say names, and then we're going to have Ombeni. Actually, we're going to have someone called John. We happen to have Asha. We're going to have, you can guess anything like that. But before, let me explain to you what array is. Array is just collection of data. You can say that. So we have this collection of names. We have Ombeni, John, Asha, and blah blah. Now to print to print something, to get the value of this array, we use something known as indexing. So for example, this Ombeni is at index 40. Array always start from 0 and then 1, 2 and 3. So for example, if we want to get Ombeni there, we say echo names, and then here we want to put a position 0. So it's going to look what value is at position 0. So you see that is Ombeni, and then what value is at position 1? Guess it now. It's John, is it? Yep. What value is at position 2? Guess it now. Asha. So that's it. What value is at position 3? What do you know? Yeah, like that. So this is how to create an array. So you can use a for loop to iterate over an array. For example, I just say for just anything a equals to 0. That means we are starting at position 0 now, and then let's say a is less than the length of this array. So here, after creating this one and this, here we're going to put the length of an array. So let's count. The length of an array will start with 1 2